Dynasty fantasy football owners, week 3 of the NFL is in the books, and we have some reactions. We have a new segment here called Buy or Beware. Basically, some players have gotten off to a hot start, and we're here to tell you whether you should buy into that or if you should be a little bit cautious before trying to acquire some of these players that have started off really well this season. And if you have any players you want to know if we would buy or beware about, comment them below so we can answer them. Our first player here is Trevor Lawrence. Buy or beware.
I don't know about you, Joe, but I'm buying it. You know, when I saw it the first week, I kind of was a little nervous about him. He looked very inaccurate, but so I actually thought the Chargers were going to beat up on him. But I'll tell you what, he looked sharp yesterday on Sunday, and you know he was talked about as like this uber talent. You know, going to be like the next Andrew Luck. We didn't see it obviously with the Urban Meyer fiasco, but he might be settling in. And I think we might see more of this output for him. So I'm buying this going forward.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. I like it. I'm buying him as well. Would say a little bit of beware for this week. He's got the Eagles, but going forward, I like him. It seems like him and Doug Peterson are got a good rapport together, and he's looking good. I like it.
I have a theory on quarterbacks with 2 first names, where their last name is also a first name. I might make a video on that later. My basic theory is that quarterbacks whose last name is also a first name are usually pretty good.
Oh, interesting.
Josh Allen, yeah. Tom Brady.
What about
Russell Wilson? Well, see, Mahomes is, I don't know. I got to do some more research.
Sounds good.
Okay. Next player. Takeaway from week 3, buy or beware. Khalil Herbert, running back.
I'm buying this. You know, it's interesting when you talk about earlier in the season, there were rumors rumbling that Montgomery was not going to be a fit for this Bears offense with the new coaching staff, and that Herbert was actually the better player. I wouldn't be surprised even if Montgomery comes back if Herbert ends up staying as the main guy. Now, I don't know for how long, especially in a Dynasty league. I wouldn't expect like him to be a superstar for the next few years, but for at least this season, I'm buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying Herbert as well. He looked really good. Definitely seems like he does fit that scheme, and as long as Montgomery's out, I'm playing him with confidence. I'm buying.
Nice. All right, wide receiver DeVonta Smith.
I'm going to say beware on this. Now, to me, this is the first time that I think he's only one other time he received over 10 targets. He obviously had a monster game this week. I never even thought that he would get that amount of targets, especially the way that they've been peppering A.J. Brown the targets, as well as that offense being kind of more of a run-oriented. You know, Hurts kind of doing his own thing and scrambling a lot of the time.
You mean Hurts?
Yeah, I said Hurts, right?
Oh, I thought you said Herbert. My bad.
No, I said Hurts. Yeah. So, but good listening though. But yeah. So to me, I just honestly, they've played some really easy matchups these first few weeks. I'll be curious. I think that Eagles offense in general is going to be a whole beware. So I'm going to say I don't think this is a anomaly for him. Nice to see that he can do it. Just don't think it's going to be something that happens week in, week out.
That's interesting, Steve. I'd like to buy DeVonta Smith. Now, I don't think this is like a ceiling play I think he's gotten this past week, but the week before he even had 7 targets, 7 receptions for 70 yards. Kind of saw that increase a little bit from week 2 heading into week 3. I mean, I don't expect the big over 100 yards every week, but it seems like him and Jalen Hurts have somewhat of a rapport growing a little bit, and I think the Phillies offense can support him and A.J. Brown.
All right. Tight end David Njoku.
This is a definite buy. I've been talking about this with Joe. We were having a debate between whether we'd have Cole Kmet or David Njoku. I feel like this game alone proved me right. I think Njoku, this is the type of potential that you could see with him. I mean, they paid him all that money. This is the first game that we really truly saw what he's capable of. And mind you, this is with Brissett as the quarterback when Watson comes in a few weeks. I mean, the potential is off the charts. I think this is what I don't know if you're going to see it week in, week out. I'd like to see it that way, but I don't think it's going to happen. but I expect him to be far more relevant than he has been.
Yeah, I would still say beware for this type of performance. And it's never been a knock on his talent, Steve. It's been about the surprising lack of usage that's been coming out of Cleveland now. He's finally just got used for the first time like he should be. I mean, he is a really good athlete. There's no doubt about that, but they're just such a run-heavy offense. They seem to like to target Amari Cooper as well. I would just say a little bit of beware. I don't expect these big performances to come from Njoku week in and week out.
All right, and because we like our IDP league, we got to throw a defensive player in there. This is defensive end Alex Highsmith. Are we buying or are we bewaring?
This guy could be the next superstar as far as pass rusher goes. I'm definitely buying him. I mean, I didn't wonder if his production would fall off, especially with TJ Watt being out, but he didn't miss a step. I mean, that spin move that he did against Jedrick Willis on the Browns, who was, a pretty good tackle, was very impressive. Pittsburgh is known to be a pass rushing factory. I didn't know if he was benefiting like Bud Dupree did a few years ago with across from TJ Watt, but I'm buying this. I think he could really be. I think his name is just starting to get out there, but he's leading the league in sacks right now. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I'd buy him as well. I mean, I'd like you. I thought his production might come down a little bit once TJ Watt went out, but he's still held his own, and he's only going to get better once TJ Watt does get it back in there.
All right, and lastly, you guys each have a player that is your most either buy or beware after this week. So Steve, we'll start with you. Who are you most either excited about or concerned about?
So we talked about this last week, so this would be something very fresh off the mind, but I'm going to go with a beware for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had that week that I thought he could. I still didn't think he looked that great. He didn't show that much burst, but the Raiders defense is so bad. Now his matchups next few weeks could be pretty interesting, but I think there could be a great opportunity to get him off your team because I think some of them will be like, he's back, and I think he's going to start showing what he was the first 2 weeks. So I would say beware. I don't think this is going to stick around for Henry.
My player is, I'm buying Chris Olave. He's been leading the league in air yards for the first 3 weeks here. He's got 260 air yards throughout the weeks 1 through 3, which is the 10th most by a rookie. Seems like Jameis is just chucking it up there saying, hey, Chris Olave's down there somewhere. And Michael Thomas just went out with an injury, and so did Landry. They're both questionable. I really like Olave going forward here.
All right, guys, comment below. Let us know if you have a player that is a buy or beware for you, or if you want to ask us certain players that you want to know what we think of buy or beware. Comment them below, and we will answer you. Make sure to like and subscribe and give us a follow. Thanks, guys.